There we go.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? We just want to welcome you all to episode 12, Operating in Chaos and Expecting Peace. I'm Phil. We got my boy Arnell who's joining us.
I know.
Uh, we're going to kick things off with, a couple Q&A. Then we're going to have a little, feedback key points for you guys to kind of ponder over. Arnell, when it comes to continues to create chaos, why do you think people expect peace?
Um, Man, it goes back to what we always talk about, man. Not willing to have that confrontation and do the work. Well, let me put it like this: people ain't willing to pay the price for peace. Let's just keep it real. You know, sometimes it's easier to stay in chaos because that's something you've become accustomed to, and to really get on the other side of chaos to peace, you got to do something different. And some people don't want to do things different, man. So a lot of times I ask, is the cost worth the reward? And a lot of times it's not for most people.
That's good, man. What I heard you say, if people not willing to do the work, they want the peace, but they're not willing to do what it takes because that's hard. They want the easy way out. That's good, man. Uh, I was pondering over this, and it's very broad. Like, I think a lot of this comes from, like past trauma of them being like a product of their environment. And, people strive in chaos. And with the people that strive in chaos, I feel like it's a double standard for them. Uh, kind of hinting toward what you said. They want to receive, they don't want to receive the same energy that they are given. Many people, they aren't self-aware of the stuff that they do, but they can easily identify what they receive. And to me, when I think about this, I feel like people that operate in chaos, it's a form of control because
Mm.
they want to give it, but they don't want to receive it and stuff. And it kind of forms into a form of, manipulation. Uh,
Mm.
they just simply don't practice what they preach. And it's a characteristic of a narcissist.
Mm. Gotcha. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you brought that up because that's one side of the chaos, man. And I agree with everything you just said. So let me ask you this question. Here's the other side of it. So if someone aspires to become successful in a certain area of their life, speaking specifically about body, being, balance, and or business, should someone expect to have to operate in chaos? And if so, is this a healthy way to live long term? So should you have to expect to have some sort of chaotic period in your life when you're trying to transition from good to great?
Oh, that's good, man. So let it be known, chaos will always happen. And we want to look at how you deal with the chaos, not necessarily like continually to operate in it. So people that are trying to elevate, uh, you're always going to deal with chaos, but you got to find a way to smooth things out and not to stay in chaos and stuff. Because in life, stuff is going to happen, but we just got to find a way to continue to elevate ourselves and deal with chaos head on and not let that thing get us in a pit so we can navigate to get out of it to move to the next thing.
Mm, nice. So what I heard you say is, man, it's temporary. So deal
Right.
with it. Find some sort of peace in the chaos, man, and then get out of it. So that's great, man. What I was thinking about too, just to add to what you said, is call it what you will. I think there's a certain threshold for stress or chaos that we all have to be able to endure. If we want to change our bodies in the gym, if we want to get closer to God and our spirituality, if we want to just take our family to a different level, of living, and definitely in your business aspirations, you're gonna deal with stress, you're gonna deal with chaos, man. So I think that just comes with the territory, and you have to learn how to manage it. You gotta be at the boundaries of your bandwidth, man, and push them for a certain time period. Is it healthy long term? Probably not. But man, I know in network marketing, they used to always talk about 90-day runs. So, you do 4 90-day runs a year. Anybody can focus in for 3 months. And I think that's that focused chaos, man, when you break it up into bite sizes and you have a goal on the other end. I think that's the biggest thing, man, having a vision and having a goal to execute on the other side of that chaos.
That's good, man. You know what I heard you say is be a great manager. You
Mm.
know, it's inevitable. It's gonna happen and stuff, but what really matters is when we cross chaos, what are we gonna do about it? So I'll say like some people feel like there's pros and cons to chaos, which I kind of agree and stuff, you know. So on the flip side, how can operating in chaos work for someone?
Well, I think a lot of times we place self-limiting beliefs. A lot of times, let's just go back to our old gym examples. Yeah, we might tell ourselves going to that workout, I'm gonna do 5 sets of 10 with curls. And a lot of times we place those boundaries on ourselves, man. We're not really pushing the envelope when you want change in your life. So now we're moving back into just overall life, man. So I think that chaos, again, like I mentioned earlier, is going to push your threshold for what you believe success is further than what you would normally do, man. So I was in grad school in 2014, and I mean, I was ready to finish. I was in the MBA program, and I was taking 2 courses my last semester for my last 2 semesters. And I had kids. My wife was in grad school. I had work, and I was just in the middle. I could tell I was in the eye of the storm. I said, man, I don't know if I could do this. But then I said, hey, man, you need to push yourself harder and further than you've ever been to get through with this, man. And so once I did and I got out of it, looking introspectively, I was like, man, a lot of times we don't push ourselves as far as we can because we almost have like these governors in our bodies or in our minds that say, hey, I got to stop here. I can only go 50 miles an hour. I can only give 50%, and that's going to be okay. We can actually give 110 every day. So, I think it's the self governing thing, but I think that chaos will bring the best out of you.
That's good, man. You know what I heard is we allow chaos to limit ourselves, and
Exactly.
I exactly agree. We definitely have to push through what's in front of us when chaos meets us wherever we're at. So although I wouldn't recommend it because it's neither as effective or efficient to really sit in that chaos. So like for me, what I would say, waiting on the last minute to execute things, I feel like it sometimes stimulate people mindsets, which provide like a sense of urgency to engage their skills for prioritizing, planning, and execution. So what I mean by that, uh, for example, for me, and I'm gonna go back to college days like you, I would say, I used to wait last minute to complete assignments, and I'm sure that everybody has done this. And I would fool myself thinking that my best work was by me working under pressure. But in reality, I could learn a whole lot more and be able to create my best work with more time. So I think it's a trick of the mind. People that operate in chaos, I feel like what that do is cause you to procrastinate, and it also cause you to not do that self-development of yourself, not realizing what you're creating in other people's lives.
Hmm. So what I heard is, man, disorganization and procrastination is a cousin of chaos. So, back to time, back to organization, man. And back to, you know what I mean? Like that's when a lot of the chaotic stuff starts to happen when you wait till the last minute, when you're not time blocking stuff, man. So yeah, that's a great point. So let me ask you this. So why do you think some people thrive in chaos and level up and others crumble under that sort of that pressure? Why do you see people who like David Goggins, who can run a 100-mile race, who's a Navy SEAL, who's been through Navy SEAL training 3 times, man? Why do you think some people level up and bring the best out of themselves in chaotic situations, man, and then some, if not most people, just crumble?
I think simply put, man, it's the fabric of yourself, how you're built. Also, I'll say like the work that you have done within yourself, because when you do the work, you're motivated and inspired to um, beat those things that you come across. So people that don't really work on themselves, I think they lack identity of who they are, so they get stuck in that place, and they don't know how to work through chaos. So chaos becomes them. So when they face with different things, it be like overbearing. They have so many things and issues that are chaos. They don't know how to address one thing to move forward and stuff. You know, a more organized person and stuff or look at those things and they'll just do what they can do and what they're capable of to execute what needs to be done.
Mm. So what I heard is identity, man, or lack thereof. I heard lack of coping mechanisms, to get through those situations, man. So yeah, that's a great point. And I think anybody can develop the fabric to get through it, man. Again, it just comes back to paying the cost. And I also think that those that level up from operating in chaos, I think they welcome that process of getting remolded through pressure, man. Just like when a diamond is made, I think they understand they got to sacrifice and give something up. So the people who don't like it and don't operate well, they run from it because the thought of that process is traumatizing. So simply said, some are willing to pay the price for success, man, and that cost is too expensive for other people.
Yeah, that's good, man. That just kind of make me think about something we talked about in the past. What are you willing to give up to go up? And you know what that says to me, like a lot of people want to try to have their cake and eat it too. And some things when you're going up, you just have to release yourself from it.
Mm.
So the last one, why do you think we as people allow chaos to manifest in our lives from other people or ourselves?
Great question, man. I think sometimes we want too much control over things in our lives instead of letting stuff happen and then just observing it for what it is and just working through it. We don't have a glass ball or anything. We can't tell the future, man. But I think the people that get through chaos are the ones that expect it, and prepare themselves, man. So every day, we can prepare ourselves by going to the gym, staying healthy, and eating the right thing. So if you do get sick, you kind of have a protocol and you got a baseline. I think people get taken out by chaos when they don't prepare for the unexpected to happen.
That's good, man. Uh, so that's kind of within lines of one of the things I'm gonna say is just accept what life gives us and find a way to work through it because we don't have control of the things that happen in life, but we do have control on how we're gonna address it and what we're gonna do about it. I feel like sometimes we find it difficult to concentrate and focus on one thing and to see it through. We are so focused on everything. So instead, we get
Mhm.
bogged down in multiple areas, which become very overwhelming and stuff, and we get stuck in that place. Also, from other people, we allow emotions to invite this behavior by being selfless and not thinking logically. And, something that we talk about pretty often is our emotions. And our emotions really do get us in trouble, especially, when it comes from other people. So, you got to use your mind and stuff. And the last thing, I also feel that the chaos allow people not to be accountable to do the work by identifying the root cause. They use chaos as a distraction from their emotion.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I agree with that, man. That last statement for sure. It's a scapegoat. Well,
Yeah.
things are chaotic because boom, so I can't do X, and then it's a domino effect. So that's good right there, bro. And then, you know what, man? Our ET say take the risk or lose the chance. You know what I'm saying? So if you know you're gonna go into some chaos, just got to take the chance, man, of going through it and seeing what it is, man. Because I don't know anybody that's been molded, that's changed their lives, man, their mindset, their body, their relationship with God, their marriage, their business, without going through some sort of chaos, man, or some sort of stress. And I really think a lot of us believe that we have longer on this earth than we really do. And a lot of us aren't led by some sort of vision, and it doesn't matter what that vision starts off as, man, but eventually you want to get in line with what the most high has you doing. But we really got to stop playing around with this opportunity and just be willing to pay the price, man. So my last question, man, what are some of the practical things people can do to recognize that they're operating in chaos, and how can they use that situation to get them to the next level in whatever aspect of life they're trying to improve in?
So, what I'll say is, for one, I use it like for me personally, like listen to people and stuff, listen to their feedback and body language with, communicating and stuff. On a personal level, from a business aspect, you got to set those goals in a track sheet to see, are you working towards accomplishing those goals, or things are coming up and you're making excuses for the reason why you're not accomplishing these goals. So this is you versus you. Things gonna happen. What are you doing about it, or are you making excuses?
Mm. So what I heard was accountability, man, up and down, personal in the personal and the business life.
Yeah.
Accountability, and then hold just saying, hey, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's got excuses. Everybody's got the same amount of time, throughout the day, man. So you really got to prioritize what's important to you and what's not. And so, man, I think that's big what you said, having a good accountability support system. And I think the first thing that somebody should do is recognize that they're operating outside of the normal realm of stress. So awareness is a huge intangible skill to have, man. When you're trying to find a solution for any problem in life, you got to become aware, whether it's you're alcoholic, whether you're addicted to porn, whether you procrastinate. I think awareness is going to be the first focal point. So in addition, I think that learning to use that chaos to become more intentional, with your actions will help one's progress. So, what do I mean? So if you got 7 things going on at once in your work and personal life, start time blocking. Whether it's on a notepad, whether it's on an app, start using other productivity apps, man, such as Google Calendar, Evernote, OneNote, To-Do List. Just things, man, simple things to help limit that chaos. We may not ever not have a unchaotic life, but there's certain things you can do, certain practical things you can do to put the day in your favor, man. When you wake up, first thing is pray and meditate, man, so you can deal with the things that are gonna come throughout that day, because they're coming. You know what I mean? But then just use things available to us, man. I'm 40. I'm sure you're in the same time, age bracket, man. We didn't have the internet. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have all these apps and all this stuff that we could use at our disposal, man. So use technology, man, and really help yourself out and limit some of that chaos.
Yes, most definitely, man. What I heard you say that stuck out is awareness, and the sad part of it is that most people aren't aware. They wonder why they having these bad situations, bad relationships, but like we talked about, they don't take time to sit down and assess like what's going on, what am I doing. Instead, I think it's more comfortable for them to point the finger at someone else, but you definitely got to be self-aware. So I want to just provide a couple key takeaways, and I'll let you provide some takeaways that you can leave for the audience, that things they can look at or work on. So for me, I just say everyone doesn't multitask well. So my advice is pick a thing and see it through.
Mm.
Uh, don't allow the problem of someone else become your issue and stuff. And the last thing, gauge your time
Yeah.
wisely. and set a routine schedule to complete your goal.
That's good, man. That's good. Yeah, some of the things that I had, man, was gather data. Know yourself, analyze your personal circumstance, acknowledge that something is off balance, and man, still pour into yourself so you can execute on any given task you got going on, regardless of disruptions within your environment, whether they be internal or external, man. Do a temperature check, get some insight from your accountability system. I know you mentioned that, man. Another thing is just build positive habits, that you could use to help combat that chaos, whether it be a gym membership, whether it be meditation, reading, bike ride, man. Find something that you could use as an outlet. And then at the end of the day, man, like we talked about, and it's a recurring theme in this podcast today, gauge if the price of the chaos is worth the cost of the reward, man. Are you willing to pay that cost?
Fair, fair. All right, folks. We've completed episode 12, Operating in Chaos and Expecting Peace. Don't you be that person. Learn how to work through chaos, and you will have your peace. So I'm Phil, this is my boy Arnell, and we out. Peace.
Peace.